Hello everyone. After what happened this month, we need to talk about what's happening with our data. Not normally something I would think about, but this is preposterous. The argument of, this is supposed to protect citizens because then we can find out who the bad eggs are, is preposterous and ridiculous as an excuse, because no one should affect the good just to catch the bad. If I have 100 apples and I suspect that one of them is rotten on the inside, I'm not going to chuck away the 99 that I believe might be healthy. I would eat apples until I found something wrong, and I think that it is ridiculous. Speaking of apples, a point has been made by Apple that this will not just affect the UK. This will affect the entire world, because we all know that not everyone is just friends with people in the country that they live in. This means that this will affect people you know. If I've got a friend who lives in Italy and we both have the same phone brand, then I send my friend something. It would be safe because they don't have to worry about their privacy being invaded in the same way. But as they're trying to put a stop to end-to-end encryption in this country, starting with Apple, that's not good. And it is stupid to make the argument that the reason they're doing it is purely to try and catch the bad guys. They had an argument before that we already thought was an invasion of privacy, where they kind of have this thing that scanned for bad images, but they weren't really going through your actual stuff. Like, hey, if something shows up as a red flag, then we'll have to say something blah blah blah. But with the thought of end-to-end encryption then being taken away, Apple may be the first, but they're not the only ones. I like that they haven't completely said, we're going to make a backdoor. Now, they didn't do that, but they did take away their complete end-to-end encryption, which I didn't know was a thing until it was taken away, which is unfortunate. But the reason I'm bringing this up is, I don't have anything illegal in my iCloud, and if they needed to, they could look. But I still want the illusion of privacy, and by taking it away and saying, oh no one should have end-to-end encryption, Apple may be the first, but Facebook and WhatsApp are going to be next. And that's not good, because again, I don't even use WhatsApp, but I know that end-to-end encryption is important. If they take it all away, what about our bank accounts? They need to be end-to-end encrypted. What about things that just need extreme privacy? I'm not talking about things like our photographs to some degree. It's not the worst thing ever. For me at least, it's not bothering me. I'm not hiding anything. But we have the right to privacy. Otherwise, we should all, walk around without our roofs on, without anything on, and no windows, nothing. Hey, it's everything to do with me, and might as well cut my head open too. For example, where I live, my house has a fence, and there's a story about something that happened to that fence. I had my fence replaced, and for about a week, there was just this gaping hole that anyone could walk in, and yes, the fence is easy to knock down, as we saw. I'll leave the story in the description. But the point is, just like there was a big gaping hole, if this thing sticks and they decide to actually go through with this, there will be a big gaping hole. But the difference is, this gaping hole will not just affect, as I said, just this country. It will affect everyone, because that would mean that anyone in the UK, if you send something to us in the UK that's for you end-to-end encrypted, it's not going to be when it comes to us. So at the moment, it seems to only be Apple, but it's not going to stay that way for long. And what makes me laugh is that, the people making these decisions, they use Apple. Are they really going to get rid of it? Because I don't think that's going to stick. Anyway, I just had to put my hat in the ring and think about this as it has become official, and I wasn't well when this was announced and I didn't know too much about it. So I thought I would talk about it and explain what I think, and it of course was brought to my attention by some ordinary gamers, because Mutahan knows everything about privacy, so I'll try to find his video and I'll put it in the description also. But yes, Just like my fence got removed and there was a hole, there's going to be a hole in the privacy sector. And yeah, there are other ones we can use. We don't have to use Apple. We could use Proton. We could use other things, but it's ridiculous. It's not necessary. There needs to be another way for them to spy on the bad guys without affecting the good guys. And I know the argument is going to be, but how do you know someone's bad unless you're looking and you find out? I don't know. I don't care. Everyone is entitled to privacy. Everyone, until you are labelled bad. Everyone is entitled to privacy, and the good people who have done nothing wrong should not have to go through this. I had teachers who used to make everyone stay in from playtime and sit there looking miserable because one child spoke in class. It doesn't matter if that child admitted that they were wrong. Class of 30 and 29 children were innocent, but this one kid, whether he spoke up or not, we all had to stay in from playtime. I know why the teacher was doing it. It was kind of like a way of, okay, if the child feels pressured to not be bad because all his peers hate him, then hopefully he won't do it again. But for me, I've always found negative reinforcement doesn't really work. It just makes you hate everyone, and then you just put a shield up and go, fine, next time I won't get caught. And I don't think that's the right way to go about things. But listen, you tell me what you think of this situation, and to anyone who doesn't know about this, keep it in mind. I hope that common sense comes around and they realise that this is stupid. One thing I do know, Apple is filing a lawsuit because, as they said, it doesn't just affect the UK, it affects the entirety of the world. I have family in other countries. They might have end-to-end encryption, but the UK doesn't, so now everyone's privacy is at stake, even though these countries did not opt for that. So, is that an invasion of someone else's laws? I don't know. I'm not a law expert, but it's made me think a lot. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do, but just like that classroom incident, it's effective, but it's not fair, and it needs to not be done. So I want your opinion because it's important. If you're still here, then you're handsome, and you're beautiful, and you, well, I'm speechless. I'll let you know next time I see you. Over to the pets. Hello all, this is Sylvie. If you liked what you saw, then subscribe for more. Hey everyone, my name's Bonjo. If you enjoyed yourself, then give it a thumbs up and share it with all your friends. Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and if you had fun, then comment down below and let my mum know if anyone has invaded your privacy.